What's happening, guys? It's Greg from East Coast Eyes, and today I've got a video overview of the new STX Surgeon 10 500. Alright guys, so this is the newest head from STX and one of their NCAA legal only heads. So this is considered an X6 or college spec only. So it is 3 inches through the throat and only 6 inches at the top, so just a little bit wider than X-spec heads, and is really good for college players that really like a pinched head. And if you use NCAA rules for your high school, youth league, or you're in college, then you can still use the STX Surgeon 10 500. So this is the successor to the STX Surgeon 10. They've added the 500 to it because that's how they're denoting all the new products. 500 is elite level, 300 is intermediate, and 100 is beginner level. So this is an elite level head meant for the elite player, which is the reason that it is college legal only. There is also an STX Surgeon 500, so the high school spec with all the new features of the Surgeon 10 500. So the main technology in this head is STX's All Climate Performance, or ACP Technology, and essentially what this does is make sure the head keeps its shape stays stiff and rigid, whether it's cold or hot. It's not going to fluctuate too much with temperature, and lacrosse is pretty seasonal, so you're going to play in all those different temperature ranges, so it is nice. I've tested the Surgeon some, and can really speak to the fact that this ACP technology does work well. It does seem to hold up to extreme cold and extreme hot and maintain its stiffness better than some other heads out there. So here we have the Surgeon 10 500 and the Surgeon 10. Some of the main differences are the addition of more stringing holes, as well as mostly aesthetic and cosmetic changes. So up at the top in the Surgeon 10 500, you've got an extremely pointed scoop, which is going to let you get a really great channel. This is probably the most pointed scoop I've ever seen. You can compare it a little bit to a CEO in that aspect, so it's very pointed up at the top here, so you can really pull the mesh down the sides and it'll pull it up in the middle, and you can get a really nice channel, which will lead to more consistency and accuracy. They have little cosmetic changes all over the head, which are really nice. Just little touches, little ribs here, different textures, different mattes and glosses all over the head, which give it a really high-end feel. And at $110 for the head, that is what you expect. It is a brand new head. It is the top tier of STX products, so $110, but you really get a high-end feeling head. Has checkerboard pattern down here, and then a dot matrix pattern down here. Additional cutaways from the Surgeon, you can see, just looks a little bit more aggressive all around with the extra cutaways and extra details. STX here, Surgeon here. Some nice elegant lines on the sidewall. So overall, a lot of cosmetic updates that give it that really high quality feel that you want. They added a second screw hole, like STX has been doing for a lot of their heads, just for a little extra locking down so you don't get any head wobble. So the Surgeon 10 has a great face shape, probably my favorite out of all X6 or college legal only heads. It's nice and pinched through the throat, as pinched as an X-spec head can be, and then just flares out really nicely up to the 6-inch requirement. So I like to think of it as a college only legal CEO. So the CEO has that same really pointed scoop and throat shape, and it's just a little narrower because it's an X6 as opposed to the CEO being an X-spec head. As far as stringing goes, this head was very easy to string. You can see I strung it up with a great looking deep defined mid pocket, full NCAA legal setup on this, since it is an NCAA only head. 3 straight shooters, all white mesh, really smooth release. It's strung up very easily. There's definitely more sidewall holes than there were in the regular Surgeon, which is great to see. The only thing I didn't like is they switched the top sidewall holes to very large rectangular holes, which are almost large to a fault. It's nice when they're big, but this I had to put too many wraparounds and knots and just didn't like the shape overall. I preferred the larger rounded holes on the old Surgeon, but even so, that's not a deterring factor. You can easily string the head, and I really didn't have any problems. That's mostly just nitpicking. So overall, this head feels great, looks great. Again, $110, available now. They've actually made it 10% lighter than the Surgeon, and that's probably due to a lot of these cutting away of unnecessary materials, but it actually, I would say, maintained its stiffness or even got a little bit stiffer, which is good. You know, when you lose weight, you worry about stiffness and durability, and that's definitely not an issue with the Surgeon 10. You get a lighter weight head by 10%, they say, over the regular Surgeon, and it still is very, very stiff and has just enough flex to give you a little bit of pinch when you're shooting. Overall, I would say this is the perfect head for the elite offensive midi. who is looking to play the next level in college and plays by NCAA legal rules. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate all the feedback you guys give me on reviews. Make sure to subscribe, like this video if you liked it. Let me know what you think of the Surgeon 10 500 down in the comments, and have a great day.